Good morning to all of you. In today's lecture, we are going to discuss about one of the advanced metal casting process, which is named as ceramic shale investment casting process. Again, I am repeating, ceramic shale investment casting process. Ceramic shale investment casting is one of the near net shape casting technologies. The process is based on expandable wax pattern for producing jointless molds that are required for near net shape casting. Before we start the discussion on the ceramic shale investment casting process, it is desirable to understand in brief the process sequence and the details of investment casting process. Already we have discussed in earlier lecture about investment casting process. The main difference between investment casting and ceramic shale investment casting is that in the former process, before dewaxing the wax pattern, it is immersed in a refractory aggregates. Whereas in ceramic shale investment casting, a ceramic shale gets built around the tree assembly through repeated dipping of the pattern into slurry, that is refractory material such as zircon with binders. After getting the required thickness of the cross section, the tree assembly is dewaxed. The shale obtained is further immersed in a refractory coating and the metal is poured into it. Again, I am repeating. The main difference between investment casting and ceramic shale investment casting is that in the former process, before dewaxing the wax pattern, it is immersed in a refractory aggregates. Whereas in ceramic shale investment casting, a ceramic shale gets built around the tree assembly through repeated dipping of the pattern into slurry, that is refractory material such as zircon with binders. After getting the required thickness of the cross section, the tree assembly is dewaxed. The shale obtained is further immersed in a refractory coating and the metal is poured into it. In this process, a wax pattern or assembly is first dipped into ceramic slurry bath for its primary coating. Again, I am repeating. In this process, a wax pattern or assembly is first dipped into a ceramic slurry bath for its primary coating. Thereafter, the pattern is withdrawn from the slurry and is manipulated to drain of the excess slurry to produce a uniform coating layer. The wet layer further causes through sprinkling the relatively coarse ceramic particles on it, or by immersing it into a such fluidized bed of the particles. The ceramic coating is built by successive dipping and stuccoing process. Again, I am repeating. The ceramic coating is built by successive dipping and stuccoing process. This procedure is further repeated till the shale thickness of desired thickness is obtained. Upon completion, the entire assembly is placed into an autoclave or flash fire furnace at a higher temperature. In order to burn out any residual wax, the shale is heated up to 982 degrees Celsius, which helps to develop a bonding of high temperature in shale. Again, I am repeating. In order to burn out any residual wax, the shale is heated to about 982 degrees Celsius, which helps to develop a bonding of high temperature in shale. Such molds are stored for future use, wherein they are preheated for removing the moisture content from it, and then molten metal can be poured into it. Now we are going to discuss about sequence of producing ceramic shale investment casting. Now the sequence can be categorized as follows. Number 1, construction of die. Number 2, injecting wax. Number 3, assembly of wax. Number 4, coating of slurry. Number 5, stuccoing process. Number 6, dewaxing process. Number 7, pouring molten metal. Number 8, removing of shell. And last, final casting after cutting and finishing. Again, I'm repeating the process sequence of ceramic shell investment casting. Number 1, construction of die. Number 2, injecting wax. Number 3, assembly of wax. Number 4, coating of slurry. Number 5, stuccoing process. Number 6, dewaxing process. Number 7, pouring molten metal. Number 8, removal of shell. And last, final casting after cutting and finishing. These are some basic steps of ceramic shell investment casting process. We can discuss these steps in brief, like number 1, manufacturing of master pattern of wax through the master dies. Number 2, preparation of wax blend and injecting it into a die. Number 3, manufacture of wax pattern and assembly of wax pattern. Number 4, investment of wax with slurry. Number 5, drying of shell thickness, which is called as stuccoing process. Again, I am repeating, drying of shell thickness, which is also called as stuccoing process. Number 6, dewaxing of raw molds followed by heating and baking of shells. Number 7, pouring of molds with molten metal. Number 8, once the metal is solidifies, the shells are removed. And last process, cutting of the gates or risers followed by finishing operation. Now we are going to discuss about various advantages of same process. Advantage number 1, complex shapes that are difficult to produce by other casting methods are very easily possible to be produced by this method. Number 2, thin cross sections and intricates can be made by this process. Number 3, finish machining is considerably reduced or eliminated on the casting made by this process, making it economically in cost. Number 4, the process has no metallurgical limitations. Number 5, this process produces casting with excellent surface finish. Now we are going to discuss about various disadvantages of same process. Number 1, expensive process due to cost of ceramics and pattern. Number 2, as the shells are delicates, the process is limited by the size and mass obtained. Number 3, making intricate and high quality pattern increases the process cost. Now we are going to discuss about various applications. Whether this application it included aircraft field, turbine blades, carburetors and fuel pump parts, cams, jet nozzles, special alloy wheels. Again, I am repeating, application number 1, various fields like aircrafts, turbine blades, carburetors and fuel pump parts, cams, jet nozzles, special alloy wheels. Number 2, chemical industries like impellers, pipe fittings, evaporators, mixtures. Application number 3, where it is used, is tool and die like milling cutters, lathe bits, forming dies, stamping dies, permanent molds, etc. Number 4, general and industrial applications like cloth cutters, sewing machine parts, welding torches, cutters, spray nozzles, metal pump, etc. So these are some applications of this process, which is called as ceramic shell investment casting process. Within this lecture, we have discussed about short introduction of ceramic shell investment casting process, main difference between investment casting and ceramic shell investment casting. We have discussed about sequence of producing ceramic shell investment casting. We have discussed about various advantages. We have discussed about various disadvantages. We have discussed about various applications.